I don't know. I obviously have no idea how high it's going to go before it crashes. But it's going to crash. That's the only thing I'm sure about. It'll probably crash many, many times. I mean, it's got a long way to go down, and I'm sure there's going to be multiple crashes during this process. The question is, when will it crash and not recover? Because we've had a lot of Bitcoin crashes over the last decade or so. But the one thing these crashes all have in common is that eventually the price recovered and made a new high. Now, the last high that Bitcoin made was about 65,000. Will we eventually recover and trade at a higher high? It's possible, but it's also possible that it won't, and that is the top. And we're going a lot lower. And if we are going a lot lower, there's probably going to be several crashes along the way, but there will also be a lot of sharp rallies, and those rallies will, rekindle hope. They'll get people to think that the bottom is in, the worst is over. They're glad they didn't sell. They'll probably sucker in some more buyers, maybe cause some of the shorts to cover before the market rolls over and then crashes again to make a new low and then repeats the cycle. But ultimately, this is how I think it's going to happen until, there is a final collapse in the price. But who knows, how low it's going to be before we get that crash. But it's going to happen. And so if you're in Bitcoin, don't press your luck. Take some chips off the table. If you want to keep some chips on the table, just to gamble, just in case, all right, if you have a lot of winnings and you take most of your winnings off the table or all of, what you started with, so you're, gambling with the house's money. If you want to do that, I'm not going to have a big argument with you. But, you can't have a lot of money invested in something like Bitcoin. It's too speculative. The risks are too great. And of course, if the price goes up, well, a little Bitcoin can go a long way. So you don't have to put too much in. If people who think it's going to 1 million or whatever, if they're right, well, you don't need to put too much in to have a great trade. If they're wrong and you put too much in, you have a disaster of a trade.